The box is roughly 22.5 inches long. It's about 34 3/4 of an inch wide, and it's roughly 2.5 inches thick. It comes with the user manual and instruction guide. It recommends you use 2 people to put this together. I'm going to have assistance from my 8-year-old daughter. It comes with 2 bars like this. It looks like they're gonna go in the back. I think they're gonna crisscross like that. These each measure out to 33 inches. Comes with a bag of hardware, and it has the Allen wrench inside it that we're going to use to put this together. It comes with a lot of styrofoam packaging like this right here, as well as these strengthened cardboard inserts. And the wood is protected from the metal from this filmy stuff right here. And you get the tabletop itself. I chose mine in the vintage color. It comes with 2 bars like this. These each measure out to 17 inches. One longer bar like this one here measures out to 29 1/8 of an inch. You get 2 U-shaped bars like this, and these are 28 inches by 18.5 inches. And all of the metal bars look to be about the same width. That is 3/4 of an inch. I just found these 2 screws outside of the hardware bag. I don't know what they are yet, but I'm gonna hang on to them just to see. So for the first step, we need the 2 little A bars, the 2 U-shaped bars, 4 of their number 1 bolts, the 4 feet, and of course the Allen wrench. So for this step, we're starting off with one of the U-shaped legs, taking one of the little number 1 bolts, putting it through the bottom near the foot right here, and then screwing on the A bar, the smaller, shorter bar here. Once that one's on, we'll do the other side, and then we'll tighten them both up with the Allen wrench. Once that bar's on, we take the feet and we screw them on like this. Really easy. So this is what you'll end up with, 2 of these, and now we'll connect them with the longer pole B, and we'll connect it using 2 of the number 1 screws. So I'll take the top of one of these and place the screw through the top of it like that. And now I'll just screw on the letter B, the long beam. Now that mine is set, I'll have my daughter put a screw in the other one for me. And make sure when you're putting these pieces together that you recognize which part of the bar is in the front and which one will go in the back. You'll notice by some screw holes. And make sure they'll line up for the cross beams. So remember, I found that one metal piece and I didn't know what it was. That one right there. Well, it's supposed to go in between these 2 cross beams in the back. And so that's good news now that I figured that out, but I didn't know that when I put it together, so just keep that in mind moving forward. So for the next step, we'll need the 2 rear cross beams and 4 of the number 3 bolts. If you look closely, you'll see that there's an indentation here where these beams will cross. I'm going to make sure that the indentations match and sandwich together in what appears to be the proper way so they will hold correctly. We'll start the first one by inserting the screw into the thread and then putting it in the proper location. Now I didn't make that one too tight yet. I'm going to get this one in first and make sure they're all positioned correctly before I tighten up all 4. And I'm going to tighten them up in a star pattern just to make sure it's properly balanced out here. So this is where we're at now that we've got those cross beams installed. I think we're going to move on to the tabletop at this time. So we're going to bring this into play along with 4 of the number 2 screws. So what we're going to do is set the table face down on the ground, put this on top of it upside down, and then screw it down into it. We have a hole here. We're going to put this screw through here and screw it in there. And when screwing these in, you want to make sure that you're pretty gentle with them. You don't want to over tighten because you could crack the board. So just get them just tight enough. Now for the last step, we'll use this number 3 screw right here, and we'll use the bracket. These can be installed on either the left or the right side. We'll just insert this screw through there into this little screw here, and we'll tighten it up. So we did put this together with 2 people. I think I could have done it by myself, but I really appreciate the help that my daughter gave to me. Now let's check it out and give it a try. When completely assembled, the table is 31.5 inches wide by about 19 3/4 inches deep. The table itself is a 1/2 inch thick, and it looks like it stands about 29 inches tall. The distance between the legs is 29.5 inches. You can see the table overhangs the legs here by about 9/16 of an inch. And on the side, it looks about 1/8 of an inch. So it only took my daughter and myself about 15, maybe 20 minutes to put this together. And even though it was us 2 putting it together, it's not wobbly at all. It feels nice and solid. And now that I can sit down and get a feel for this surface, it's an engineered wood, it's waterproof and scratch resistant. I would say it's smooth, but it is slightly textured, so it's probably not smooth enough for like a main drawing table, but it has a really nice clean feel to it. You can see it has enough surface area to handle a 15-inch laptop. The metal legs are made of a powder-coated steel, and they have a slightly distressed feel to them with a deep, rich color. The feet here allow it to slide easily across the floor, but if you wanted to change out these foot pads, you would just need an M6 thread caster or something like that. It's extremely lightweight, super easy to pick up even with one hand. I love that it's super easy to clean up. Watch what you can do with just a damp rag here. Now, some people were asking if they could customize this table a little bit, drill some holes through it, you know, make some grommets through their power cords to go through and things like that. I wouldn't recommend that. This engineered wood could be particle board, and drilling through it could crack it and just damage it even further. I would say that this would be just fine as a main working station. I'm going to let my daughter use this as hers. You know, if you have like a printer and a whole bunch of accessories, you'd probably want something a little bit bigger than this. But I think it would work just fine as a breakfast table, or perhaps just holding up some plants, being used as storage. I love that it was a great value and it was really easy to put together even with my 8-year-old daughter. And if there are any negatives to it, I would say it says it can hold a few hundred pounds, but it's not very good for sleeping on.